to the WSL Post Show. Carissa Moore has just stitched up CT event win number 27, her third victory here at the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. They might need to put another step in the staircase for her. An unbelievable performance. Ronnie Blakey here on the Harvey Norman host set with Felicity Palmatier. Rich Lovett. Rich, epic day, a short day, but certainly plenty of highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. There was some incredible rides from both the men and women. The surf came to the party. We somehow timed it perfectly because the wind's gone a little bit horrid now, so we absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, it was tricky through the back half of the women's final, Felicity, but Carissa Moore again just proving that she's got the power to match the energy that comes your way here at Mainbreak.
Yeah, it was a really, really challenging final. It changed the conditions between the men's final and the women's. We saw a little bit more wind come up out of the southerly, and you know, Carissa kind of put a tactician hat on there at the end and just went to work. She had a couple of, good scores, but just holding priority there at the end and made some smart decisions. Yeah,
the numbers, Rich, I think, looking at both finals, kind of tell the story about the conditions and how they were starting to deteriorate.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Gabriel Medina didn't get anything below a 7 and just kept building and then dropped, 9s and 8s, and he was all over it. So Griffin had moments as well, getting into the excellent range, but Medina just pulled too far ahead.
Let's have a look at what we were facing today. The women's Bailey Ladders bracket was unbelievable from the quarterfinals onward. Big matchups. The Bronte McCauley story was one we were following really closely, chasing that fairy tale finish here at home. Unfortunately, she was dealing with a knee injury as well, and I think you could see that in her performance.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. I mean, she's had really good performances out here in the past, but she couldn't just quite get past that semi-final finish. I mean, she's going on to the Challenger Series event at Snapper, so we wish her the best and hope that, her knee's not giving her too much trouble. Yeah, the second semi-final for me was one to really look forward to. The last time Tyler Wright surfed against Caroline Marks, Caroline was 13 years old as a wild card at Trestles, and those two finally starting to get some opportunities to surf head-to-head. But the big story today was the run of Carissa Moore throughout this contest. She just built beautifully, was very composed, reliable with those big end section hits.
Yeah, like a champion. This was the standout moment. This is when she just got that freakish barrel at the end of that ride, tagged it with a beautiful hit off the top. And you could almost feel like there was a real momentum shift in the way of Carissa Moore, and she was going to take it all the way to the final at this point.
Yeah, I love to see it. I mean, she's had a few challenges. She had that board swap that she had to do, that she had to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and she did with that excellent score up against Lakey. And I feel like today she just went to work. I mean, there were really challenging conditions. We still had a lot of lump and bump from that front, and yeah, Carissa just looking so strong and in control.
Throughout this event too, I think it's got to be said, Carissa probably wasn't at career best form, but it just goes to show how strong she is and just the edge that she holds performance-wise over a lot of surfers in the field.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, mate. And, if you asked her, are you happy? She'd be going, I'm stoked I got the win. But are you happy with your performances? She'd say, there's way more that I can do, And as a surfer, you want to come in feeling like you absolutely made no mistakes. You put in the best performance you could and you pushed yourself to the limit. So, it was a very composed performance in terms of how she constructed all the heats and found a way to win. And again, like you said, talks to the maturity of her abilities.
Yeah, I think, even just going through her highlights on that road through to victory, you can see there was some real standout moments. But, when people made mistakes, when there was turning point moments in heats, Carissa was there, ready to capitalise, punish you for those errors and take the heat wins. And that's got to be the best feeling in the world, Rich.
Yes, absolutely. The winner's chair up the sand or up the stairs in this case, nothing better.
Yeah, big congrats to Carissa Moore on what was a strong performance here in the West. Her third victory at this venue. There are the numbers. Not the biggest numbers for these two surfers. They did much bigger scores on their road through to the final, but still, a result's a result. It's going to help them solidify their place at the top end of the ratings. Let's see what Carissa Moore's got to say after getting a third victory here in the West. Down to you, Stace.
Thanks, Ron. Carissa, your third time being crowned champion here. How good does that feel? It feels amazing. I think it's been 9 years since the last time I won this event, and I was beginning to think I couldn't do it. So, but you know, I really do have the best team behind me, including my local coach, Andrew Sheridan, and you know, all the love from Mitch Ross and my family here. Of course, my husband, all my family back home definitely gave me a lot of confidence going into finals day.
I just saw you and Tyler let go a big sort of sigh of, I guess, exhaustion. That day's over. Or even though it was a short day, a lot went into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here in Australia for about a month now, and it's been 5 days that we've been waiting for this finals day. So a lot happens in those days. You know, you're trying to stay on top of things, but also trying to relax, but you can't. So it's a sigh of like, okay, it's over, it's done, work's done. Now we can go home and have a little reset.
Thank you so much for your time. We've got the presentation coming up, and well done from all of us in the broadcast team. Thanks, Carissa.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's buzzing and charging her way up that ladder again, just closing in on that top spot. It's just super impressive, and you know, those multiple world champs starting to make their move towards potentially the Rip Curl WSL finals. But yeah, she's a force at every venue.
Yeah, she definitely is, and it's amazing that she said it's been 9 years, because to me it feels like yesterday that she won here. But I just loved her performance this event. Like you said, maybe not her best surfing performance, but she's really capitalised on other people's mistakes. She's put her tactician hat on. She's made really smart decisions, and sometimes, like, you know, you can look at that performance and be like, yeah, actually that was really good because I had to really think to get myself out of that, and, you know, rely on sort of, I don't know, think of it as a game of chess, I guess. And yeah, she surfed great throughout this event.
She sure did. Thinking about the men's event, we still had to get through quarterfinals this morning when we rocked up here to Surfers Point, and we'll have a look at the Bailey Ladders bracket for the gentlemen. And Gabriel Medina, Felipe Toledo, what an absolutely mouth-watering exchange to sit on over a few Lados.
Yeah, absolutely. That was you know, one of the primo matchups of the bracket, no doubt about it. And, well, Gabrielle, this was early morning, just in attack mode and difficult conditions as well, and bringing that brute strength to the fore.
Yeah, he looked like he just lifted his head off the pillow when he was running down for this first heat. I think the absolute hallmark of Medina's performances throughout this contest have been his ability to stay on his feet after hitting just the ugliest end sections that main break can throw at him.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again throughout this event, and even that grab rail bottom turn that he's doing, so critical off the bottom. It just allows him to get so tight back up in the lip. And yeah, like you said, Ronnie, those finishing moves that he is putting together, I mean, you don't think he's going to make it, and then all of a sudden he's just comes exploding out of that whitewash, and he's still on his feet. And I mean, he's had some amazing claims during this event too. I mean, you can feel that he's coming back into his own.
Considering that Bell's and Margaret's back-to-back are probably his worst two events, he's done well in these past two contests. And you think about his run from the quarters, it was the biggest uphill battle anyone faced today, up against Toledo in the quarters, Chianca in the semis, and then Griffin, who was on fire in the bottom half of the draw in the final. It was a magic performance, and he turned it right up in the final. Yeah,
he sure did. And you know, this is if John matches Margaret River's power on the forehand, then Gabrielle does it on the backhand, you know. And you can just see he's got a knack of making things happen, making every single turn that he goes for, and he's got that winning feeling again, and it's been a little while, so great to see him back in the circle. Also been a little while since we've seen a goofy footer on the men's side take the CT win. You've got to go all the way back to 89. Dave McCauley getting a victory here back then. So Medina back on top. He hadn't had a CT victory since Rottnest 2021, so got a special little place in his heart, no doubt, for WA.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a pretty special part of the world, but yeah, I love the surfing he's been doing. I love to see a goofy win. I love the kind of surfing he was doing on his backhand out there, and I like that comment, Rich, that you said, you know, if John matches the power out here on his forehand, Medina does it on his backhand. Yeah. Great.
Hindsight, Rich, a beautiful thing. I thought when I was watching the final that Griffin Colapinto had the opportunity. I thought he had the magic opportunity to potentially turn that final in the later stages. What happened there? Yeah,
that wave stood up, and it's, you know, things happen in a split second, blink of an eye when you're actually paddling in and riding a wave, and you know, looking back on it, could he have tucked in and gotten that barrel from the start and then maybe done 2 or 3 big turns and gotten the score, perhaps, you know. We're never going to know. And Medina got the win, but surely Griff will be processing that now, because regardless of whether it's a final or not, these guys come in and they go, okay, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? And they just break it all down. So that's what Griff will be thinking about.
What do you think about Medina just heading into the back half of a season now that he's had a victory? What do you think about his chances at maintaining a place at the top?
Very good. Very good. His reputation at Lemoore at the wave pool is incredible. You'd have to think that he's going to be top 3 there for sure. And then the other events that are stacking up behind it, this is his primo leg that we're about to go into, which is real danger signs. And then we spoke about it today. If he is in that final, no matter where he's positioned, he's going to be a real threat, and especially if Lowers turns on 4 feet and grinding right-handers, left-handers, he's going to be all over it.
I just see him starting to slip into the dream space of those surfers at the top end of the tour. Now Felicity, nightmares they're going to be.
Yeah, completely. I mean, I think Joe said it. It seems like he's back. It's similar to that interview he gave. I forget what final it was, and he said, I'm back, and I feel that energy from him too. We saw how excited he was in the water with Kaipo and the claims he's been doing. I feel like today he's just coming into his own, and yet something pretty special is around the corner, I think. And like you said, we're coming into the back leg of the tour. It's his bread and butter. There's some great waves there, so things are exciting.
They sure are. Let's check out the Boost mobile wave of the day. It was an easy pick. Gabriel Medina just coming to absolute life, just setting main break on fire, Rich, with this big backhand attack.
Yeah, and main break was a difficult riddle to figure out today, and Gabriel did it so well. Some of these backhand turns were the strongest we saw the whole event. How he recovered in that moment to get back on the lip and finish that ride, and that was the first time we've really seen those emotions boil up, and he did the no claim, like threatening to you better give me that score. Give me that score. So it was good to see. And one more quick note too, Gabriel's kind of changed his whole kind of act and doing it with different people and bringing some friends out, so still figuring out what works for him on the tour, and he's finding it.
Yeah, he's looking good. It's time to crown our champions here at the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. We'll throw it down to Joe Tapel.
Thanks so much, Ronnie. Thanks for everybody coming down. You guys are all incredible. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was really special, and you guys were a real major part of this event like you are each and every year. I'd like to introduce a very special human being, Zach Wallich-Webb, cultural custodian of the Wadandi people. Let's make him welcome like he welcomes us every year.
Thanks, Joey, and kaya everyone. So it's kaya nyan Wright. So hello, I'm the white-bellied seagull. Nyan Mark, my family is Warandi. We're the saltwater people of the southwest here. And kwaba jananga yaranga Warandi boyare. It's good to see you all on country, on saltwater country. So for us, we'd just like to basically, welcome you all here. It's like I say, it's great to see you all here on country, and also we'd like to wish the best to all the surfers upon their journey and yourselves travelling back home. So when you leave Warani Boyara, whilst you leave there, we hope that you have a Kwaba Koreng Boyara, that you have a good time and safe travels back to your home country or back to your home, your Maya. So it's been a great year this year, and we hope to see you all back on Warani Boya for next year's saltwater country again. So I'll put you back on, Joey.
Thank you so much, Zach. You're an incredible person. Thanks for welcoming us so well each and every year. We'd like to practice as well, saying kaya, meaning hello. The WSL acknowledges the Wadandi people as the traditional owners of the Margaret River region and thank them for welcoming us to their buja, their country. We pay our respects to the Wadandi community and their elders past and present, and the WSL is committed to the ongoing learning about local history, culture, and language of Wadandi Buja, saltwater people's country. They have asked us all to walk together softly on country and respect the ocean and waterways, and we wish to also extend this acknowledgement and respect to other First Nations people who join us here in person and online. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody, to the official presentation of the 2023 Western Australia Margaret River Pro. This event is always sensational because, well, we tend to score great waves. You guys gave us the best waves we've had all year on tour. We absolutely scored, and it feels great to be here at Margaret River, always dealing with some big, powerful surf, and it always comes at an important time because, as you know, last 2 years consecutively, we had that famous mid-season cut, so there's so much pressure, and this event needs to be at a venue for the mid-season cut that provides great waves and great opportunity for the best surfers in the world. Performances were always great. Jerem Forrest, Jack Thomas, round of applause for them coming out of the trials representing WA. And let's hear it for Bronte Bacale. Wow. 3 years in a row making the semifinals. She belongs on tour. Let's get really behind her in the Challenger Series starting very soon at Snapper Rocks. Also a big event because we have Olympic qualification on the line. We were able to provisionally qualify a few athletes for Paris in 2024. A lot happening here in the West. So important to be here, and we can't thank you enough for providing this a great venue for us to compete on. Big thanks to Tourism Western Australia, our title partner for this event, hosting us so well. Also like to thank Shiseido, Yeti, Red Bull, True Surf, Surfline, Shire of Augusta Margaret River, Boost Mobile, Bonsoy, Harvey Norman, Bond University, Oakberry, Coopers, Rusty, GWM, Healthway, Bailey Ladders, Hydrolite, and BioGlan. Let's give a round of applause for all the support to make this happen. Again, thanks to Surfing WA. You guys work so hard behind the scenes. You really are the backbone of this event. You guys are amazing. Thanks for hosting us so well. The local community, sharing us all these amazing waves and lineups, and your beautiful restaurants as well. About our trophies, this is becoming a really awesome tradition, all done by local craftsman Gary Bennett from Jurok, creating these beautiful and unique trophies. The wine barrels, obviously symbolic and representative of this amazing region. And we have some incredible people up here on stage. We just heard from Zach Webb himself. Next to Zach, we've got Stuart Aubrey representing Scarborough. Thank you so much. And Renato Hickel, directors of tour and competition. He's seen a lot in his day on tour. We thank you for all the great work that you do each and every year, Renato. Now this man is staying true to himself. He's turned into one of the most popular athletes on tour for good reason. Let's hear it for your runner-up in the men's final, Griffin Colapinto. Two finals already this year, already with a great position in the WSL Final Five.
Thank you. Let's grab your special trophy.
Hold that thing up real quick, Griff. You be you. Just do you, right?
Yeah, just doing me.
No one does you better than you, man, and it really showed. What are you most proud of today?
Most proud, probably that heat against John. He got me last year in a pretty gnarly battle, and yeah, I kind of like surprised myself in that heat to beat him like that, and that was a little feather in my cap. So yeah, it was really good, and I think he's probably the GOAT out here. So yeah, it was probably the highlight of my day.
You said you had to kind of calm yourself down a little bit because that probably was an amazing moment for you, beating the best guy at main break. But you started off strong as well in the final against Medina with that big 8-point ride. Yeah,
well, against him you got to go all in. So that's kind of every section I got. I just wanted to go as big as I could, and that's kind of was my theory on that one. And the rest of the heat, I kind of started picking not the best waves, and he ended up on some really good ones, and obviously went huge. So yeah, congrats to Gabby. It's been super fun being on tour with him, and super psyched to have him back. And it's really good to see him, like, you know, he seems super into it and super psyched on competing and life and stuff. So it makes it fun for everyone else too, because you know when everyone's into it, you can feel the passion, and I don't know, just makes everything really fun. So yeah, stoked to have him back, and congrats to Gabby.
Inspiring words, inspiring performance. Enjoy the moment, Griffin. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Might want to get a couple of those in preparation for what's to come very soon. I'd like to introduce your runner-up in the women's final, a two-time world champ, Tyler Wright. Well done, Tyler. Grab your trophy here. A very strong performance this season, but also very incredible Australian leg of the tour this year. Back-to-back finals, picking up another great final moment with Carissa Moore. We try to put it into words in the booth what it's like for you two to be sitting next to her in a final. I want to hear from you, though. When you see yourself in the draw with Carissa Moore to go for a big title trophy, what does that mean?
We've been doing it a long time now. It feels pretty familiar. So, and Carissa's been an incredible competitor. To have another final at her with her was amazing. I'm pretty sure we almost had one 10 years ago, and I felt like the sets just came non-stop through that final too, and we had looked at each other going, oh, that wasn't really what we expected. And I kind of had the same feeling out there. It's like, this is not what we were paddling out to about 20 minutes ago. It didn't go great for me in that final, but I've had a wonderful week, a wonderful Australian leg, and it's been amazing to be here on Wodandi Bujar, and it's been really nice, actually.
Back in yellow, world number one, heading into the surf ranch. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's I haven't been in that position for a long time, so but look, I really like what I'm doing at the moment. I really like how my team's worked with me throughout the last year and a half to really position myself in the way that I want to be, and kind of just really values-based driven work. So it's been an amazing last few events, and just settling into kind of the whole process again. I haven't been in this position for a very long time, so I don't expect much, but I really enjoy doing this work.
Well done, Tyler. Enjoy the moment. Congrats on being number one in the world, and help yourself to a couple blue ones. You know what's coming next. This man has never been past the quarterfinals until today. Never been in the semifinals, and now accomplishing his first win. One of the best to ever do it. A three-time world champ, and now the champ of the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. Let's hear it for Gabriel Medina. Gabriel Medina takes it out. "17 championship tour wins now, equal on the all-time win list with Mark Richards and Barton Lynch. Enjoying that new class update. I know you're always trying to check in with surf history and know all the records that came before you. What does it mean to crawl up that ladder and join those big names of the sport?
It means a lot to me. It's pretty special to win here. It's an event that I always struggle to make hits, really, and felt good, to have waves, to get a few waves with another guy out there, and to have that stats. It's pretty good.
You said something when you came into the beach where you're like, yep, I'm feeling it. Comp mode is on. I remember talking to you at J-Bay that one year where you said, I'm back. Is this a similar type of feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling better now, just feeling I'm in the rhythm again. I love to compete against these guys, and against Griff. We always have good battles, it's always fun. He pushed me so much, and I just love it. That's what we're here for, and to get the win, it's amazing. As I say, it's a really hard wave to surf, and that was really challenging me, and I'm happy with my improvement. Yeah.
Hey, it was really fun. Oh yeah. I really enjoyed the heat that you had with Joao Chianca. The young guy on 22, you're the three champ, decorated athlete as yourself, taking on the younger guard, the younger generation. That got pretty exciting, especially out of the gates. What do you think about Chianca and where he sits today?
Yeah, I was really fired up to just waking up today. I felt I was in a good vibe, and first I started the day with Philippe, which was a pretty good one, and then I got João in the semis. It's just great to see all these Brazilian guys coming up. It's good because we try to push each other. We're having a good momentum on tour, and it's been a lot of work, and friendship and
just trying to make the most of it because, you know, the year is so long and we go to everywhere and you go ups and downs, and to have like friends and people helping you along the way, it's really important. That's why we take care of each other, and yeah, it feels amazing.
Muito obrigado. And quickly to all your friends and family, a lot of people can speak Portuguese out there.
Obrigado a todos os brasileiros. Obrigado a todo mundo por ter vindo assistir, torcer. A gente sentiu o suporte e o carinho de vocês. É sempre maravilhoso, tenho orgulho de ser brasileiro e mais uma vez deu Brasil e estou muito feliz. Obrigado. I don't know how I'm gonna take this home, but but thanks, guys.
I know a guy. Don't worry. Congratulations. Enjoy the moment. Parabéns! Gabriel Medina, now number 7 in the world and winning this event for the first time in his career. Now let's welcome a very familiar face, a 5-time world champion and your champion of the Western Australia Margaret River Pro, Carissa Moore. Here we go. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We're going to finish today. Well done.
Carissa Moore now with 27 championship tour wins. This one feeling very special. I was telling Gabriel where he sits on the all-time win list, and now you're equal with the great Layne Beachley, second all-time. What does that mean to you?
Wow, I wasn't keeping track, so that's a pretty cool stat. I'm so honored to be a part of that list.
You had a lot of great moments. I could tell you about them, but I think we want to hear from you. The heat with Lakey, the board change before that. What really stands out?
Yeah, it was a crazy week, and it's been a crazy month being away from home, and you know, all of us on tour. I think every one of us in life, we have so many. It's a roller coaster. It's ups and downs and everything in between. And I have to say, just before coming here, I think the doubts were starting to creep in a little bit. But I really felt the love and the joy from this community and the sacredness of this place. So I just want to say thank you, because I couldn't have done it without that good energy.
Wow, that's really special, Riss. We really feel it from you every time you perform. It looked like a sigh of relief when you used priority on your last wave of the final and looked back and saw Tyler. What were you going through in that moment?
Honestly, I actually didn't see Tyler's wave, so I was kind of like, oh no, like I kind of wasted my opportunity. I fell, and I was just like, there's a minute left. I'm not going to make it back out, but it's up to the universe at this point.
Congratulations, Carissa. Another incredible performance. Number 2 in the world. Best of luck from here on out.
Thank you, and I just want to say a thank you to my team, Andrew Sheridan, Mitch Ross, and my wonderful husband, Luke. Thank you.
Awesome. Enjoy the moment. Congratulations, everybody, and congrats to our champions, Carissa, Gabriel Medina, and our amazing finalists here in West Oz. Can't wait to see you next at the Surf Ranch, as we'll send it back to Ronnie Blakey on the post show.
Thank you, Joey. Fantastic job, of course, with the results here at stop number 5. We've seen a bit of a shift up on the Championship Tour rankings, and we are going to be talking about what's unfolding on the women's leaderboard at the moment, because Tyler Wright now moving into that number 1 position, assuming that top spot heading into stop number 6, Felicity, and very deserving of that position, seeing as she's having such a fantastic year.
Yeah, I feel like she's had her eyes set on it from the beginning. I mean, I actually was privy to a bit of time with Tyler at the beginning of the year in Hawaii, and she just looked ready. There was something that had changed about her, and now there she is. She's sitting in that number 1 spot, and I think it's going to be hard to get the lead off her from here.
Rich, it's going to be the same story when we bring up the rankings for the men. Those champs, the world champs, are starting to make their push towards the top end.
Yeah, they certainly are. And just looking at the women's rankings there, you could see Steph and Tatiana. There was a couple of usual suspects that we're normally seeing right up the top. They're not quite there yet, so it's game on in these next few events.
Yeah, Stephanie Gilmore too, heading to a couple of venues where she's got fantastic opportunities, and she'll be looking to seize on those right-handers, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a really, really exciting finish to the tour, and the back end has got some really exciting waves. I'm looking forward to watching the Surf Ranch, the next event. It's such a different event, and then I'm also looking forward to watching the women at Jopu again. I love that the women are back there, and it's going to be good to watch.
Yeah, it was interesting too to see on the women's rankings. There was a bit of shuffling at the back end of the top 10, but for the most part, you know, those who came in here with a position above the cut line managed to reserve that spot as we head into the back half of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, still a couple of fresh faces there that did enough and got their position on tour. A couple of, usual suspects that are not on that list as well that we'll be seeing going back to the Challenger Series. So, that's the nature of the tour now. You just have to perform in this front half. You have to.
You do. We'll be talking about those individuals as we move further into the post show. But let's bring up the men's rankings now. And like we said, the multiple world champs are closing in now. Gabriel Medina, the big mover, jumping 9 spots to get to 7th position. John Florence just hanging around the final 5 at the moment. But Jack Robinson, we missed him from this contest, but he only fell 1 spot. That's how strong his other 4 results were with the throwaway considered.
Yeah, I mean, it must be hard for Jack, sitting at home or in Brazil with this injury and watching on. I mean, this event is his bread and butter. And, he has only fallen 1 spot, but with conditions like this, you just know how well he performs. So, I mean, hopefully, we wish him a speedy recovery and looking forward to seeing him at the next event.
Joe Chianca, though, Rich, you've got to give him props. Wearing that yellow jersey, very comfortable, composed performance. 4th time out of 5 events he's gotten himself into the semi-finals.
Incredible result for someone who's only done the tour for the 2nd year. And when I look at that top 7, it is so stacked with amazing surfers, and they're exactly where they need to be. And Zhao's the kind of unknown talent right now. What's he going to do? How's he going to handle the pressure coming into this back half of the season? He seems to be just taking it on board, and it's definitely surfing extremely well. And but the pool will be something new for him, so we'll see how he goes there.
Yeah, the Surf Ranch, the next stop. It brings a different level of kind of stress and anxiety for the competitors. It's, you don't get opportunities to clean up your mistakes, really. And, Medina and Felipe Toledo have had a real stranglehold on the contest when you think about the men's event. The Shaper rankings, Johnny Cabianca's got to be just sitting at home going, oh, well, I've got 1 rider in the mix, and he's finally come to life. So he'll make his way up the rankings, but here's the top 5 when we look at it.
Yeah, and it's DH up the top there. So obviously had a really good run with Ethan down at Bells, and then a couple of riders, Bronte, etc., doing extremely well here. And then Mayhem, Carissa got the win for Matt Biolis today, and obviously Griffin making it through to the final as well. So, doing really well. Sharp Eye, he's been up the top there for a while, shifted down a couple of spots. Channel Islands always strong again. Jiao on the CI program, and a couple others, and John Pizel, John and Tyler. So those top shapers are in, really position themselves with some of the top riders and top surfers. So it's going to be a great, matchup through the back half of the year as well. There's ratings, excitement everywhere.
Yeah, Darren Hanley in the yellow jersey for the first time as well. And you just know, even though we're only at the halfway mark of the season, he'll probably send it. It's going to be a week-long bender for DH.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. We know what he's like.
We've got the top 5 moments of the event coming up. We're also going to be talking about the Challenger Series and the next stop on the Championship Tour, the Surf Ranch Pro. Don't miss the opportunity to get your tickets for the Surf Ranch Pro. It kicks off May 27th, Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be huge. Big party, no doubt. And the form will be incredible from the competitors that have made the cut. But unfortunately, we talk about people who have made the cut. We've got to also talk about those that fell below the line. But here's the lineup for the back half of the year and also into the 2024 season. Stellar cast.
Oh, absolutely stellar cast. And one person I'm really looking forward to seeing the back half of their year, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Liam O'Brien. I feel like he was a standout competitor here at Margaret River. I mean, he put together some excellent scores. The flow in his surfing was great, and I'm stoked he's made the cut because I can't wait to see him surf the back end of the year.
Yeah, Gabriel Medina was a big mover on the rankings, but Barron Mamiya, he was the only surfer that climbed from below the cut line and got himself above the line heading into the back half of the season. These are the competitors that made the cut on the women's tour. It's going to be just an incredibly fun race to watch, watching these competitors battle it out for a final five finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a good mix of not old school, but sort of the seasoned legends of the sport with some of the young upstarts like Caitlin Simmers and Betty Lusakura Johnson and Gabrielle O'Brien. They've sort of made their mark, starting to make their mark against some of the seasoned world title campaigners. So it's going to be a fantastic back half of the year.
Well, they've been winning those heats, those big exchanges against, multiple event winners, multiple world title winners. So we'll see if they can kind of reclaim that big energy, that big push from the next generation, because they were kind of having their way with it through the first half of the season.
Yeah, they really were, and there's been a bit of shift in the last two events for sure to the more established, but they'll be bouncing back. They've got a lot of energy, these newcomers, and they're fiery too.
Let's just talk quickly about who we're going to be missing through the back half of the season. Surprise names that fell below the cut line, a couple of really seasoned campaigners on the men's side especially. Kelly Slater fell below the cut line, of course. The news is out. Slater's been given that wild card opportunity, so he'll be competing through the back half of the season. Miguel gets the wild card for the new year. But look, we lost some big names, and some of those surfers were just sitting right there on the bubble when we came to this venue. Under the cut on the women's side, these are the big upsets for me.
For me as well. I mean, it's shocking, I guess, for people like Sally Fitzgibbons, Courtney Conolog. I mean, we got Isabella Nichols. She won this event last year. I mean, Sally and Courtney, we're so used to seeing him, in that even top 10, top 5 conversation. They've both been runner-up in the world, and for them to fall underneath the cut, I mean, it's big news, and I'm excited to see them go through to this next Challenger Series event and give it a nudge, and can they get back on? That's
the question. So, Rich, what are your thoughts? I mean, you've got to overcome so much emotion just to turn up and put together a great performance at that first stop, May 6th, that kicks off the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro.
Yeah, a couple of names on the women's side first. Sally's one who I just know will never give up. She's not done yet. She'll go straight back, tap into that energy of the CS and really give it a nudge. I think, Isabella came super close to making the cut, and unfortunately she's out again, but I feel like kind of on her home break, as well as Macy, they're going to do extremely well. And there's something about coming from the Championship Tour back to the Challenger Series. You go back there with just so much confidence. It's like going back to preschool and just bossing everyone around. You know what I mean? It's, they're going to have the lion's share of it all, in my opinion. And then on the men's side, for me, it's Kolohe. Jackson Baker was a big surprise to see him not make the cut, because I feel like his surfing's been incredible. But I think the best thing that could happen to Kolohe is about to happen. He's going back to college and get that fire, get that winning feeling again, and I think he'll do very well.
Let's have a look at the Challenger Series schedule, and we can continue this conversation about these competitors. I feel it's a little different. I feel like you're not going into the Challengers with confidence. You've got surfers who've qualified regionally, who've been on a winning streak, and they're coming into the schedule. The experience is going to be obviously in favour of the Championship Tour competitors, but they're dealing with a lot.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and it's a tough thing. This event has a lot of pressure here at Margaret River, and if you're not making the cut, it can affect your confidence. It just depends on what kind of person you are. And look, you're not defined by the moment that happens here. It's how you pick yourself back up after that. So this first event's going to be really telling, and we're going to know if the first few heats get underway at Snapper who's in the right mindset and who's not.
On the men's side, no CT surfers who fell off to perform that great at the first Challenger Series stop last year. On the women's side, Molly Picklum got a second place finish. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch. But one thing I know from doing some of the regional qualifying series events is that the standard of surfing is high. I've spoken to people from different regions, WSL regions around the world, that they're saying the same thing. So seeing it all come together on the Challenger Series is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Bring it on. We have still got to get through our top 5 moments from the day. And of course, we've still got highlights coming your way. Carissa Moore and Gabriel Medina, the champions here this year. Welcome back to the WSL Post Show here at the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. We're going to dive straight into it. Our top 5 moments from the event, starting at number 5, Italo taking to the sky.
That was just unbelievable. Took flight, and Italo just doing crazy backside full rotation air on one of the most gnarliest end sections on the entire tour, and huge score.
Yeah, worthy. He's back, Italo. He's got that mojo back. Number 4, Carissa Moore, the buzzer beater barrel against Layne Peterson.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. Number 4, Carissa Moore, run so good. I mean, she was in such a pressure cooker. She needed to make it happen. And yeah, just far out. I mean, it was one of the best barrels of the event. It was incredible.
It was, just came from nowhere, and this was really the big turning point moment for Carissa in the contest. Went on to get a 3rd victory here in the West. Absolutely buzzing. Coming in at number 3, this guy had a fantastic event. Griffin Colapinto just continues his amazing form this season. On fire, Rich.
Yeah, surgeon-like performance here from Griff, the young man from San Clemente, really starting to find his place in the top echelon of the tour. And it's with surfing like this, very mature. He's got it all. He's got the power, got the rhythm, got the flow, and he's got the explosiveness too.
To get to that final 5, you've got to beat the world champs, and Griffin, he did the seemingly impossible here at main break. Coming in at number 2, what a performance from Gabriel Medina. Hasn't had great results here in the West in the past. We haven't seen a goofy footer take a victory here since the contest really started to focus on the Wrights. But 2 excellent numbers in the final, and he got the job done.
Yeah, he certainly did. And Flick, you'll be happy about that, the goofy footers. But the beast is back. The cyborg is back. And look out, because he's got that winning feeling again. But, you know, just have a look at this backhand mastery at Margaret River main break. You know, was there anyone who powered off the top quite as hard on the backhand, who took more risk? Debatable, but anyway, he got the win, and it's amazing to see him back on top.
He was figuring out the formula throughout those earlier rounds, put it all together in the final for a strong performance, and incredibly a 17th championship tour win, matching Mark Richards and Barton Lynch. What an effort. But at number 1, Carissa Moore, her 3rd victory here in this championship tour event. Just a classy performance, Felicity. Yeah,
it really was. I mean, the conditions changed in this final. Things got a bit more challenging, but Carissa, I mean, with all that knowledge over the years, she's won out here a couple of times, and, you know, it really shows. I mean, just absolute, just going to work, you know. It was a challenging final, but, yeah, made it count when she needed to, and, yeah, she's got a 3rd win.
And a free trip up the stairs, which is always appreciated here at an event which requires so much from the athletes, all of whom performed incredibly well throughout the contest. But there can only be 2 winners, Carissa Moore and Gabriel Medina. It was their turn this year, but it was an amazing event. We always do love our time here in the West. Got to say thank you to Rusty for the shreds, keeping us looking sharp throughout the contest. But we've got amazing highlights. Of course, you can tune in and watch the Challenger Series event unfold. That starts on May 6th. Otherwise, we'll see you at the Surf Ranch. It's the next spot on the CT. Enjoy your time, and here's some highlights.
We are here at stop number 5, the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. The cut is looming, and we are looking at beautiful conditions.
First day of the waiting period, and it's on.
The local hero, Bronte Macaulay.
Tyler up and riding. Beautiful first turn off the top, releasing those fins there.
Caitlin Simmers going dry on that inside shelf. The opening round for the men, anticipating even bigger surf. Liam O'Brien.
9.07.
Attacks this first section.
Unbelievable. The Dolphins getting in on the show.
Leap into the air.
Felipe setting himself up.
Absolutely laying the board on rail there.
Canelo trying to stay on tour past this mid-season cut. The 51-year-old 11-time world champion. Kelly needs a 7-7.
He has left nothing on the table.
And Kelly Slater has not made the cut. Had his hands full with Liam O'Brien. And some big names that will be sent to the Challenger Series. Kolohe Dino, Zeke Lout, a lot of our favorites.
Out of here. Screaming down the line here, looking for it.
Massive backside reverse, like a whole new level of commitment.
The Monarch, the King, the Emperor of Main Break. 9-4-3. He's still the man to beat. Carissa Moore into the 9s, under priority to take out Lakey Peterson. Chiankai, world number 1. He started off with a 2-bride, 7-8-3 out of the gates. All Brazilian matchup to kick off the quarterfinals with Medina and Toledo. Semi-final number 2, John Florence taking on Griffin Colapinto.
Searing turn out of the top. He is giving thanks.
Medina, nice solid opening snap. How does he stay on that surfboard?
There's our champion, Joe.
That's right, Gabriel Medina. Carissa Moore taking on Tyler Wright. Carissa Moore takes out the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.